Have you ever wondered why it's so hard to part with certain objects, even when they no longer serve a purpose in our lives? We all grapple with this challenge, holding on to items that clutter our space and mind, creating a sense of chaos. Some of us may even feel a pang of guilt or loss when we consider discarding these objects. It's a universal struggle, one that resonates deeply with our human experience. Let's delve into the psychology behind our attachment to objects to understand this better. We might not realize it, but our attachment to objects is deeply rooted in our psychology. Ever wonder why you can't seem to part with that worn-out sweater from college or that collection of old magazines gathering dust? It's not just about the object itself. It's about what the object represents to us. This is where the concept of comfort comes into play. Objects often provide us with a sense of familiarity, safety, and reassurance. We associate these items with moments of joy, comfort, or even just ordinary days that have become precious in retrospect. This leads us to another element of our attachment, memory association. The items we keep are often tied to specific memories or people. That old music box might remind you of your grandmother, or that series of novels might take you back to your teenage years. Letting go of such items can feel like discarding a piece of our past, which can be emotionally challenging. Fear of loss is another potent factor. We often hold on to things because we worry we might need them in the future, or because we fear that letting them go will mean losing a part of ourselves. This fear can make it hard for us to distinguish between items that are genuinely useful and those that are merely taking up space. Now let's talk about the endowment effect, a concept from behavioral economics. It refers to the tendency for us to overvalue things simply because we own them. For instance, you might think that old baseball cap you've had since high school is worth a lot more than it objectively is, just because it's yours. These psychological factors, comfort, memory association, fear of loss, and the endowment effect, all contribute to why we sometimes find it hard to declutter and let go of our possessions. But don't be disheartened. Understanding these psychological aspects is the first step towards mastering the art of letting go. Now that we understand why we hold on to things, how do we begin to let go? The answer lies in the art of letting go, a delicate dance between the mind and the heart. The first step is acknowledging the emotions tied to the objects we're holding on to. These items may be steeped in nostalgia, sentimentality, or even guilt. Recognize these emotions, give them a nod, but remember, we're not our past, nor are we defined by our possessions. Next, we need to decide what truly matters. As Marie Kondo, the queen of decluttering herself, proposes, we should ask ourselves if the item sparks joy. If it does, it stays. If it doesn't, thank it for its service and let it go. This step is about discerning the essential from the non-essential. It's about choosing joy and function over clutter. However, knowing what to keep and what to discard isn't enough. We need a plan. Start small. You don't need to declutter your entire house in one go. Choose a drawer, a shelf, or a corner of a room and begin there. This way, the task becomes less daunting and more manageable. Remember, decluttering isn't about getting rid of things mindlessly. It's about making space for what truly matters, both physically and emotionally. It's about creating an environment that supports your well-being and reflects who you are now, not who you were in the past. Also, don't rush the process. Letting go takes time. It's not a race, but a journey that unfolds at its own pace. Celebrate small victories and don't beat yourself up if you struggle. After all, we're undoing a lifetime of habits and emotional attachments. Lastly, practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. There will be days when letting go feels impossible. That's okay. Give yourself permission to feel, to struggle, and to take breaks. You're human after all. Remember, letting go is a journey that requires patience and self-compassion. Embrace this journey with open arms and an open heart, and watch as the art of letting go transforms your life. Scene script. Let's put theory into practice. Here are some practical tips to help you declutter your space. Tip 1. Adopt the one in, one out rule. This strategy is as straightforward as it sounds. For every new item that comes into your space, an old one must leave. It's a balanced approach that keeps your belongings in check and prevents unnecessary accumulation. Tip 2. Try the box method. This involves taking a box and filling it with items you're uncertain about. Once filled, stash the box away for 6 months. If you haven't needed anything from the box during that time, it's safe to say you can let those items go. Tip 3. Set decluttering goals. Whether it's tackling one room per week or spending 15 minutes a day sorting through a drawer, having a goal gives you a clear direction and makes the task less overwhelming. Tip 4. Tackle categories, not rooms. Instead of decluttering one room at a time, do it by category. Start with clothes, then books, then papers, and so on. This method is effective because items of the same category are usually scattered in different parts of the house, and grouping them together can give you a real sense of the volume. Tip 5. Remember, decluttering is not a one-time event, but a lifestyle. It's about making conscious decisions about what to keep, what to let go, and how to organize your space. These tips can make the process of letting go easier and more manageable. With every item you let go, you're making room for something new. This is the beauty of decluttering. It's more than just a physical act of tidying up. It's a transformative process that allows you to unburden your life, making room for new opportunities and experiences. Imagine the fresh breath of air as you walk into a room free of clutter. The space feels larger. The atmosphere feels lighter. Suddenly, there's room for that reading nook you've always wanted, or the home gym that you've been dreaming about. Decluttering also helps to clear your mind. The less physical clutter around you, the less mental clutter to weigh down your thoughts. You'd be amazed to see how your focus sharpens and your stress levels drop. So embrace the new. Welcome the positive changes that decluttering can bring about in your life. As you begin this journey, remember that letting go is not about losing. It's about gaining space, peace, and freedom.